Owning land with a quiet, peaceful pond was one of my greatest joys. It sat tucked against a gentle hillside shaded by old trees, and filled with fish, frogs, and wildlife that had lived there long before I moved in. But apparently, my pond didn't fit the aesthetic vision of the HOA that governed the neighborhood down the hill. The trouble started when the HOA president, who had a history of micromanaging things she didn't own, showed up at my gate one afternoon. "We've decided your pond doesn't match the community's visual flow," she said, as if she were the curator of some grand museum. I reminded her my property wasn't under HOA jurisdiction. She frowned, said she'd take it under review, and stormed off. A week later, while I was at work, I received a call from a neighbor. The HOA had drained my pond. I raced home to find hoses still snaking down the hill. The pond now an ugly bowl of cracked mud and dying plants. The HOA's landscaping team packed up like they'd completed a heroic mission. I was furious. I filed a complaint that same day, but the HOA smugly claimed it was necessary landscaping for the benefit of the community. They had no idea what they'd done. Within days, the banks of the pond began to erode. That pond had acted as a natural water stabilizer for decades. Without it, the soil dried, cracked, and began sliding. At first, it was small, little sloughs of dirt rolling down the hill. Then came the rain. One night, after a heavy downpour, I heard a deep rumbling sound, like thunder coming from underground. I ran outside with a flashlight just in time to see it. The entire hillside buckling and collapsing downward. Trees tilted, soil cascaded, and a massive section of ground tore free and slid straight toward the HOA's manicured common area. By morning, the damage was undeniable. The HOA's prized walking path was buried, a pavilion foundation cracked in half, and 2 ornamental trees were completely uprooted. It looked like a mini landslide because it was. Engineers confirmed it. Draining the pond destabilized the hill. The HOA was solely responsible. Insurance didn't cover it. The repair estimate? Astronomical. Suddenly, the HOA wasn't talking about aesthetics anymore. They were too busy scrambling to explain to furious homeowners why the community budget had just evaporated. As for me, my pond is being restored, fully paid for by the same people who destroyed it. And now the HOA understands. Nature isn't a decoration, and messing with it has consequences.